You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
Most writers and radio show hosts know that to connect with your fans, you need to do more than just write books or record the latest podcasts. There are many different elements that go into forming an online platform, but there are also many hidden traps. To make matters worse, solid advice on how to survive the muddy waters is scarce. In the book Hidden Traps, I talk about some of the important issues of working with an online platform, highlighting traps that could put your physical or internet security at risk or be harmful to your reputation. Are your social media posts just links with a few disjointed words, making you look like someone who can't complete a sentence? Did your new website cost you more than you anticipated? Are you leaking your personal contact details across the web without even knowing it? Then you need Hidden Traps. Although Hidden Traps is not officially released until August 1st, you can pre-order your paperback or ebook copy now from a variety of retailers, including Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Kobo. Visit blackwolfpublications.com for more details.
Here's George Foreman with InventHelp.
Hi, I'm George Foreman. Do you have an idea for a new product or invention? People ask me all the time, George, how do I get my idea in front of companies? How do I get a patent? What do I do next? Do you have the same questions? I'll tell you like I'll tell them all. Call my friends at InventHelp.
Call InventHelp today for free information. InventHelp has been helping inventors for more than 30 years and has sales offices nationwide. InventHelp can submit your invention to companies who are interested in receiving new ideas. If you have an idea and want to try to patent it and submit it to companies, you should call InventHelp today for free information.
Listen, I can't guarantee a company will be interested in your idea, but I believe every inventor deserves the opportunity to step into the ring and take their best shot. Put InventHelp in your corner.
To get your free inventor's information, call 1-800-353-6490. That's 1-800-353-6490. Again, 1-800-353-6490.
KLRN Radio has advertising rates available. We have rates to fit almost any budget. Contact us at advertising@klrnradio.com.
This is Slickery Trigger for Rebel Road Tactical. With proper care and feeding, your pistol will be ready when you need it, there to save your life. Shouldn't your gear be that good? Whether you need a holster for comfortable everyday carry or a tough-as-nails holster for your next training course, Rebel Road Tactical has what you need. Check us out on the web at rebelroadtactical.com.
Hey, y'all, it's Ginny Ehrhart from the Southern Sisters Radio Show. We love to talk about Southern culture, Southern life, everything that makes living in the South so fantastic. So join us every Saturday on AM 920 The Answer at 12 noon and again on Sunday at 10 a.m. Check us out online at southernsistershome.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to When's World. And there is absolutely no better way to kick the show off than with our Southern sister, Ginny Ehrhart.
Oh, hey, Joey.
So good to have you back. How you been?
Thank you. I've been good. I'm good. But you know, today we're shaking it up a little. It's autumn, so we're going to shake it up in a cocktail shaker.
Oh,
right?
I love it. I love it. You brought in an apple cider mojito. I've never heard of such a creation.
Well, you probably heard of a mojito.
Of course,
right?
yeah.
And you know what apple cider is, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so we've just taken the two and kind of put them together to create a new creation, a Southern Sisters creation.
Perfect for autumn.
Right. It's delicious and it's easy to prepare. Let's say you and I were going to have an apple cider mojito. I'm going to prepare a recipe here for two people. Okay.
Cool.
You're going to start out by making a cinnamon simple syrup. Now, Southerners have known about simple syrup for years and years. It's a great way to sweeten beverages. You're going to place 1/4 cup of sugar and 1/4 cup plus 1 tablespoon water and a half of a cinnamon stick in a small pot. Bring it to a boil, then turn off the heat and just let it cool to room temperature. You can store that in a mason jar for later use. Got it?
Got it.
Now, when it comes time to putting your mojitos together, you're going to combine 4 ounces of cider, your cinnamon simple syrup, 3 ounces of Applejack. Now, if you don't know what Applejack is, it's basically a fermented apple cider. It's like a distilled alcoholic apple cider. It's amazing. And you're going to need 4 ounces of white rum as well. You're going to combine those in a cocktail shaker. If you don't have one, you can just kind of stir them up in a glass measuring cup as well. Now, in 2 serving glasses, you're going to muddle I love that word, muddle. It's just squashing or pressing herbs or things like that. You're going to muddle as much or as little mint as you desire. Fill both glasses with ice. Throw in a little handful of some diced apples. I like to leave the little red skins on them just because they're pretty and for some color.
Yeah.
And then you're going to add your cider mixture. Now, you will have shaken that really good in your cider mixture in your cocktail shaker with that ice, so it's nice and cold. Just divide it evenly between the two glasses and stir. I like to garnish it with a little cinnamon stick, maybe an extra mint leaf. Hello, fall.
You can't lose. It's always a win with Ginny Ehrhart. And if you missed any part of this or you want to check out more, there's a lot to experience. SouthernSistersHome.com. And for the time being, there's a special bonus for the Wens World clan here.
That's right. If you go to SouthernSistersHome.com, you can get 30% off all products on the website.
30%.
Yes. Promo code SISTERS.
Oh, that is so good. And free shipping on all orders.
That's right. We never charge shipping on any sales that we have off of our website. And listen, guys, on the blog as well, on the website, you'll see a photograph of this beautiful apple cider mojito and the recipe.
Oh, it's so good. Jenny, thank you so much for coming back.
Thanks, Joey.
It's always a good week when the 39-pound topic wheel abides. And, of course, it wouldn't be the same without Radio Griff in Wens World.
Yo, yo, yo.
Dude.
What's going on, dude? Oh, lots going on this week. I'm fired up. I'm fired up. I have hot takes, so get the fire extinguisher out.
Oh, boy.
Because you're gonna need it for these takes.
I'm ready, baby.
Oh, my goodness.
Since you're so fired up, why don't you take the first
Let me get
rip on the old topic
out.
wheel?
Yeah.
Okay, you ready?
I'm doing it.
Woo! All right. Honey Boo Boo has a gluten allergy after all. That does explain a lot of her weight fluctuation.
Yeah.
Everybody hates Trump. Whoa! John Kappa La 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 from the Braves, right? That's how you say his last name.
I never knew how to say it.
Johnny C with the Atlanta Braves.
Copy. We call him Copy, I think.
What's going on? You're the resident Braves
I'm a Braves
fan.
guy, man. I'm a season ticket holder, diehard Braves fan. Not a good season this year, obviously. Rebuilding. That's what we're doing, right? We're rebuilding without saying we're rebuilding.
Is that what teams say when they lose an abundance of games? We're rebuilding.
Multiple years in a row.
It's like what Louisiana said after Katrina. We're rebuilding.
Not going to touch
Why
that.
would you rebuild in a place where it's under the sea?
Right, exactly.
Like the Little Mermaid.
Sebastian's down there.
Yeah, and Flounder and Flopsum and Jepsum. Well, anyway, we'll get back to the cast of characters on The Little Mermaid, but you have a lot to say about the Braves organization.
Yeah, so John Coppola, he resigned this week. Out of nowhere.
No. Is this one of those things where they say he resigned, or was he encouraged to step out?
Sorry, I forgot we're on radio. When I said resigned, I did a little finger quotations there. He resigned this week. And, it happened, Monday or Tuesday of this past week. Mm-hmm. And going into the offseason, the season ended Sunday. And what everyone thought the big news was going to be was, will the Braves extend Brian Snitker, their current manager? Will he be back next year as the manager? Because it wasn't a great year. Albeit it was his first full year as manager, but there's been a lot of talk that he's probably going to be reassigned within the organization and they'll bring in someone new to coach the team. Well, it turns out that wasn't the big announcement this week. That wasn't even the news. Out of nowhere, our GM, this guy who's like 36, 37 years old, John Coppola, is forced to resign because of some shady stuff he was doing in the international signing players and stuff.
With illegal immigrants? Was he?
I don't know. Something going on. Like they pay these 15-year-olds in the Latin America hundreds of thousands of dollars under the table and promise them cars and a bunch of stuff. Apparently, I did a lot of reading on this week, and it sounds like every team does this. However, apparently John Coppola was a kind of a jerk to work with, I guess. Someone equated him to, I don't know if you watch House of Cards, Frank Underwood on House of Cards, Kevin Spacey plays and becomes president, and on his way up, he pretty much takes everyone out, and he has just as disgraceful as a downfall. So it's just he's like a bull man in a china shop, just full force ahead. And it sounds like Coppola was that type of guy. But the thing is, he got the Braves since he became GM to now the number one farm system in the league. He made some pretty good trades. He had the team on the right track, it seems, by all accounts. But it sounds like some people didn't like what he was doing. He kind of disrupted the system a little bit. And my take is, there's this good old boy system in baseball, and especially with the Atlanta Braves, with Bobby Cox and John Sherholtz and all the others who've been there for years, who've only produced one World Series. John Coppola comes in there, the millennial. He disrupts the good old boys club and ticks them off. So because he ticked enough people off, someone squealed to the MLB about him, and they started this investigation, and he was basically forced to resign. And I think it's not because of what he did. This is my take. It's not because of what he did, because it sounds like every team does what he did, but to some degree.
Okay, but let me play devil's advocate here. Just because everybody does it doesn't make it right.
I'm tired of these unwritten. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Everyone does it though. The bottom line is he ticked people off.
He got caught.
No, he's a millennial.
Hand in the cookie jar.
Anti-millennialism at the Atlanta Braves. John
no.
Sherholtz and Bobby Cox, they did great in the 90s. It's time for them to go on.
Well,
I'm done with Bobby Cox. I'm done with John Sherholtz.
He's throwing the papers here in Wens World, folks. It's getting serious.
They might be Hall of Famers, but, their time has come. Let the millennials take over. Copy we trust. That was our hashtag. We had it. Braves fans were pumped about him. He was the next great GM, and apparently other GMs and other teams didn't like him, pretty much because he fleeced them time and time again. They're too stupid to work with him. This millennial comes in, changes the game, and people can't handle it.
All right, but
that's what's wrong with America. No one gives millennials a chance. They're keeping us down, and these old guys they don't like it. They want to keep everything comfortable and keep it the way it always has been. No, millennials are here to change things, and unfortunately, Kapalala, he's out, and it's unfortunate for the Braves. Now, the Braves are in disarray. This is the worst it's ever been. It's like they're
almost as bad as the Phillies.
Almost as bad. It's like Louisville. Like all these sanctions, it's over.
Minus the slugging.
Just blow it up. It's done.
Yeah.
They may as well relocate.
So while you were talking, I made a pretty thorough flow chart here.
Yeah.
In Wens World, and based of what I've deduced from your rant is that the millennials want to hire illegal immigrants to work on the farm system of the Atlanta Braves. To me, this just screams some sort of governmental violation. Trump hates it. It's not good for America. I think the Braves probably made the best decision based off what you're telling me of this guy trying to bring in illegal immigrants to work on the farm for the Braves, right?
I don't see anything wrong with it.
Well,
Everyone
of course you don't.
It.
You're a white guy. No white guy sees a problem
Trump
with this.
does the same thing with his hotels.
Oh, boy.
That's what he does, right?
Those are all privately contracted. There's a lot of red tape here.
We're getting these guys visas and green cards, and we're even giving them houses, and we're giving them jobs. We're doing great, and they're contributing to society. They're playing for my entertainment and for your entertainment.
Last time I checked, the Braves aren't entertaining to watch.
Because they're still young. They're still 15. We're hiring 15-year-olds.
And isn't there some child labor law being broken as well here? There's so much wrong with this, Griffin. I can't believe you're defending
millennials are here to change things, and we don't play by these old rules.
We don't play by OSHA standards.
No,
there's no minimum wage.
We're here to change things. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of the good old boys club. Sherholtz and Bobby, go away. No one likes you.
Here's the thing. I'm looking back to that World Series team of 22 years ago. 22 years ago.
Yeah, I wasn't
Do the
even
math.
alive, man.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah, I was just a thought in my father's horny brain. But how many illegal immigrants were part of that team? I'm thinking back to the rotation. You had Glavin, Smoltz. You had Greg Maddox. Who was the fourth one? Steve Avery.
We had Steve Avery.
All those white guys, man. So I don't get your point here. I really don't think they found any success in this.
Because they're still developing.
Underground railroad of migrant workers.
We're still working. They're still on the railroad. They're still trying to make their way to Atlanta from Rome and from Mississippi and from Gwinnett.
Are there no highways?
Speaking of Gwinnett, what's the name of that team? What's going on out there?
Now that, my friend, is a take that they need to answer to. Because last time I checked, what is it, the Buttons?
Well, they haven't named it yet. It's supposed to be the Buttons, the Gobblers, the Lamb Chops. No one knows.
Lamb chops.
What's up with it? It just disappeared. We're not going to talk about it. I've done some trademark searching about that. No trademark has been registered yet for the new Gwinnett baseball team.
Now would be the time to snag up the domains.
Right.
Of all of them.
GwinnettGobblers.com. Go check it out.
I understand your frustration as a baseball fan, especially
baby boomers are ruining baseball.
Oh, they're ruining everything.
They've ruined it all.
They've drained Social Security. We're paying for their elderly care. I'm tired of it.
Are they even baby boomers? They're like the people who produce baby boomers, right?
Yeah, they're like the baby Bammers.
Baby Bammers.
Yeah,
Sherholtz and Cox.
The Bammers had the boomers and Sherholtz Cox. I don't know. It's getting very confusing about what's happening with this organization.
It's in disarray. It's done. They moved from Atlanta to Cobb County. Things got shady.
Well, they still have an Atlanta address,
That's
technically.
But they are in Cobb County. That was kind of a shady move, and that just seemed to be the start of shadiness for these Atlanta Braves. It's sad what's happened to this team I grew up loving. they've kicked out the millennials. They're anti-millennial. They're pro-baby boomer bammer, and I'm sick of it.
Wow. You should see the vein popping on at Radio Griff's forehead right now.
Oh, my goodness.
Now, there's one specific guy that they've been tailing for years now, and they gave him, what, $3 or $4 million already to sign? This is like 15-year-old, the aforementioned 15-year-old who's going to be the next Baby Ruth.
Like Kevin Maton or something?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
He's not even old enough to drive a car on his own. But they've already promised him.
Well, they gave him a car.
Well, he can't drive it, technically.
Well, yeah, technically.
Well, but in Latin America, I'm sure he can. There's no rules there.
There's no rules, and that's the way it should be.
And that's why Latin American baseball is so popular, because there are no rules.
There's no rules. They don't have to play by these.
There's no strikes.
There's the stupid rules we have to play by here in Major League Baseball.
No foul balls. Everything's fair. If it lands in the crowd throws it back. It counts as an infield
the way
fly.
It should be. The way baseball was meant to be played. On the field and off the field.
It sounds like the game from Hook. Run home, Jack. All right, let's take another spin on the wheel here. All right. And
my goodness.
Oh, man, I just saw one of these topics pop up, and this is something that you tweeted about. It might be a little sad. Hopefully it doesn't land there, but let's see.
I bet it's going to land there.
Everybody hates Trump. I don't hate Trump. I think that's an unfair topic here. Tom Petty. Oh,
man.
R.I.P. Last Dance with Mary Jane happened earlier this week. Tough stuff. Lots of pot smoke to this guy's music. Not by me, but I've had friend. I'm asking for a friend.
I'm like Tom Petty's on my Mount Rushmore of musicians, artists I like. It's him, and get ready for this. It's Tom Petty, Garth Brooks, and Weird Al Yankovic. Those are like my top three.
Is it Yik or Yitch?
Yik.
Wow, I've been saying it wrong all these years.
Vic. Yankovic. So Tom Petty, Weird Al, Garth. We lost one of them this week. Tom Petty. 66, man. That rock and roll lifestyle, I guess, caught up with him?
I don't know. 66 is pretty good for a musician.
Well, I guess so, right? I mean, he lived a hard life, especially in the 80s and 90s. There's a little, sound like he was doing some...
bit of...
More than just Mary Jane was going on, okay?
A little bit of fun.
He was dancing with more than Mary Jane back then, so... it's sad, man. I got to see the guy live. I just saw him in April at Phillips Arena in Atlanta.
Yeah, tickets were what, an arm and a leg?
Something like that.
I got to pay for his funeral somehow. I mean, seriously.
This guy's ruthless. Tom Petty, one of the greatest of all time, just passed away, and his body's not even cold.
Oh, his body is cold. Although, when they reported it 3 o'clock on that day, what was it? What'd you say it was? Monday?
It was Monday or Tuesday.
You don't even remember when he died. You're not a fan.
I'm a huge...
This is terrible. Anyway, but you're not the only one that doesn't remember when he died, because it was reported that he was dead before he actually died.
Oh, I know. I was already mourning.
Yeah.
Then they're like, he's clinging to life. And it was like zombie Petty.
It was like Hogan. It's like Hulk Hogan when he catches the what do they call Hulkamania?
Right.
He almost had a spell of Hulkamania.
I thought it was going to happen. I was like, we're still going to see Tom Petty again. He's back, baby. But then I guess later that night he actually.
Yeah, like 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
And
but it sounds like he probably was brain dead the whole time. Maybe they just had him hooked up to stuff.
Right.
I mean, the guy, like, it's rare. We've lost a lot of great artists in the past probably 5-10 years. We've lost people like Michael Jackson and Prince, people like them. And when they die, there's almost two sides to it. People are like, oh, they were kind of a creep, or they're kind of weird. Or with Tom Petty, though, there wasn't one bad word I read this week spoken about him.
Right.
Everybody loved Tom Petty.
That's a good point.
He had good music. It wasn't necessarily like groundbreaking, but it was just like stuff you turn on when you're driving with the windows down. And if you could have a car full of people.
It's Americana.
It's Americana. You put Tom Petty on, no one's complaining. No one complains if you have Tom Petty on the radio.
Right. It's a shared, and you know how I know it was Americana? Because whenever you go out to eat at a corporate chain restaurant, Tom Petty's playing.
That's a good point.
Even
the ironic thing about that is that he was like the most like anti like corporate type of guy. He hated that kind of stuff.
Right.
Like he was all about like independent, local, that kind of thing.
Sure.
But yeah, he was accepted mainstream corporately. Right. He was. Yeah, it's interesting, man. And it was a sad week for America losing Tom Petty, man. And it doesn't even seem real to me. Like, because I listened to his music this week, and it's like, dude, I'm not, because me and my dad almost every year when he came to town, it was every other year, we'd go see him live. That's not going to happen anymore.
Yeah.
And it's weird. What are the Heartbreakers going to do now? Do they just play without a lead singer?
I mean, that is a really good point.
Is anyone going to sing? They'll just have like background vocals.
No, they'll have like what Journey did.
They'll hire some Asian guy.
Asian guy to come in and be like
John Coppola.
Hey, he's got a lot of time on his hands now. Who knows? He could know every single lyric to the Tom Petty songs.
Well, if he's like any good American, he does.
That's a good point. Do you feel like your heart is a tad more healed? Like there's some closure?
Now that I've been able to talk about it?
Yeah.
I think so.
This is awesome. Well, let's take one more spin on the ye old topic wheel here.
Oh, man.
And my arms are tired, so I'm going to ask you to do the honors here.
I'll try. Hopefully no teeters get on it.
Las Vegas. I am not touching that. I'm not dealing with that.
Sad.
Beanie Babies making a comeback.
Again?
Oh! Cameron Newton.
Oh, my goodness. This guy.
The Oikos yogurt guy.
This guy. The other day, a female reporter at a press conference asks him about some route or something.
Females talking sports. I'm sorry, go ahead.
And that was basically his response. He like started laughing. He's like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, it's just funny to hear a female talking about routes. Like,
so let's give it some context.
Okay.
Right? So he's up on the podium eating his Oikos yogurt and drinking his... By the way, do you notice how nobody ever drinks the Gatorade on the podium? I would be the first dude to open the Gatorade and drink it.
Too much sugar, man.
Wouldn't that be... That's a good point. You have those low-cal Gatorades. I digress. So a female reporter asked him how he feels about Devin Funchess, who was a receiver, asked him about how he feels about his route running, because evidently it's improved. And Cameron Newton, an Atlanta native, mind you.
Atlanta's own.
Yeah, Southwest Atlanta, too strong. Break. Said, it's just kind of funny to hear a female talk about routes. And then I think he anticipated a jeer from the rest of the reporters, and it was crickets. Nothing.
Yeah, it was awkward.
Afterward, he faced just a flame war on Twitter.
Oh, they went nuts. Twitter has melted down about this. You see your typically kind of progressive voices on Twitter. They're even criticizing Cam about this.
Right. And
of course, the other side, the more conservative side, is also criticizing Cam for this. It's something that everyone has totally just ripped him for. And I want to come in here and have a strong take and be like, Cam's immature, which he is, man. And that's been the popular take.
He didn't jump on the football in the Super Bowl.
Right.
That says it all.
Right. But he's been like this his whole career. He's just kind of showing a little bit immaturity here and there.
Sure.
But at the same time, man, if you watch the video, yeah, it was immature, but is there a need to freak out like some of these people are freaking out about it? Like, oh, he's anti-women, blah, blah, blah. He was kind of having fun. He was kind of making a joke. And I think, like, if you're hanging around, like, if we're hanging out around, you know, with some chicks and some guys and we're all just hanging out
it's funny to hear a guy talk about your menstrual cycle.
Right.
I would think that's funny because I don't experience that. And there are no women in the NFL right now. They're referees.
There are referees. Yeah, but I think if this would have happened, you know, with a group of people watching a football game or just hanging out at the bar, no one would have blinked an eye about it. But because it's like on this podium, and you could tell there was a smile to his face. He was trying to make a joke.
Yeah.
Like he wasn't. I don't think there was like this viciousness behind what he said. So I don't know. But again, I know that's kind of a soft side to take on this, almost seeing both sides of it to some degree.
That's okay.
But I mean, it was immature, and then you've got to realize, man, 2017.
Yeah,
everyone's
it's
so sensitive to everything.
Yeah.
You can't say stuff like that, man. You can't. Fortunately or unfortunately.
Well, I think females have been covering professional sports for so long. This is something that would have been said back in the 1970s, and it would have been ha 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 ha.
Right.
And nobody would have jumped on. Well, there's no Twitter or social media back then. Nobody would have jumped on the newspaper column and thrown
3
shade.
weeks later.
Yeah, 3 weeks later. Hear ye. But this is what I think is funny, is that Cameron Newton has an overall 25th rating out of 32 quarterbacks for quarterback rating. So it's kind of funny to hear him mock somebody for talking about route running, because apparently him and his receivers aren't on the same page.
That's a good point. That's a very good point. Yeah, he hasn't been the same since that Super Bowl.
Not at all.
We've talked about it here in Wins World before. He's not the same guy.
Although somehow the Panthers are 3-1 and defeated the champs last week.
They did. Yeah, it's weird, but I don't think they're really a good football team. I think that 3-1 is a little bit misleading there.
You think it's a mirage in the desert?
A mirage. The Panthers are. Yeah.
Well, since we went ahead and teased said football games, we'll come back. We'll talk about last week's results. And I got to say, I'm very disappointed in myself. At Radio Griff is ahead of the Wens here.
Oh, man.
We're going to talk about how deep the margin is when we get back. Stick with us. And we're back. The aforementioned promised pick'em prediction, look backs, hindsight's always 2020 regret segment here in Wens World. At Radio Griff went 9-7 in NFL Week 4.
Wow, that's just a nudge above mediocre.
Yeah, a nudge above mediocre. And I was mediocre at 8-8. And you are officially 2 games ahead of yours truly.
On the season, I'm 2 games ahead.
On the season, ahead 36-28 to my 34-30. So, but I will say, and I got to give myself a pat on the back, that I was so right about the Falcons game last week. So right.
Did you pick that game?
I picked the Bills.
Oh, wow, I didn't even remember that.
Called the upset there.
That was a good pick.
And I was wrong about a lot of other things. So, but that's my one claim to fame temporarily. But let's look ahead to week 5 here, man. We got a lot of awesome action starting. The surprising Jets.
The Jets, the 2-2 Jets. The Jets are taking on the Browns.
Oh. In Cleveland, that might make a difference.
No,
they're starving for a win.
Did you see
0-4.
Did you see this week right outside the Cleveland Stadium? There was a literal dumpster fire.
Oh, that's awful.
So I don't know if that's a good sign or not for the Browns. Probably not. I think the Jets are going to win. I'm
taking a safe bet here, Griff.
No. The Jets aren't a good football team. That 2-2
They're
is
2-2.
Come on, it's also a mirage. It's misleading. I think the Browns at this point are just tanking. They want the number 1 or number 2 pick. They're going to draft a quarterback again.
I think they're going to get that running back from Penn State.
Do you?
Yeah.
You think that's the plan?
I think so.
But really, this game could decide a lot. Like, in terms of draft, in terms of draft picks, this game there's a lot on the line here.
By the way, I'm sorry, I hate to digress, but this is a hot take. If I'm a collegiate athlete and teetering on being the number 1 overall pick, I'm going to make a mistake in a bowl game so that I'm the number 2, so I don't go to Cleveland.
That's a good point. Or you can be like, was it Eli Manning did it?
I don't want to go to San Diego.
Didn't John Elway do it
as
well with the Colts back in the day? Baltimore Colts at that time said he wasn't going to play for him.
So what say should an athlete have?
Who cares? No, they should have every say.
No,
they should have every say.
You get drafted, you play for the crap team.
No.
You play for the team that drafts
if you don't want to play, if you're that good, you should be able to say, no, I'm not playing for your crappy team. I want to be on a good team, or at least a halfway decent
We're giving
team.
These indentured servants way too many rights.
It's the millennial way. Let millennials take over.
Oh, boy.
I'm tired of this. A good old boys club.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I interrupted you. Please continue on your tirade of nonsense.
The Jets are going to go 3-2, and they're going to win this game. The Jets are for real. Josh McCown. They have a decent defense. I like them.
I'm looking for my upset bell here in Lynn's World, and I'm calling
picking the Browns to beat the Jets.
Cleveland Browns.
Is that an upset?
Go. What? Yeah, it's an upset. Obviously, they're 0-4. They have to be.
In reality, is that an upset? Okay.
Of course it's even if it's a 3-point
that's
upset.
That's a weak upset special there.
What? They haven't won a game. I'm predicting them to win their first game.
Okay.
The partial upset. Okay. I'm only partially upset right now. I'm going to take the Browns at home. Advantage at Radio Griff. The Panthers take on the Lions, 2 3-1 teams. According to at Radio Griff, the Mirage, the Mermaid in the middle of the desert, that is the Carolina Panthers, traveling to Detroit. This is going to be a good game, a highly offensive game.
Is it though? Is it? I don't know about that. This is like on paper it looks good, but in reality, I think the Lions are going to stomp and destroy the Panthers. I think the Lions, they only scored like 14 points last week. I think they're going to, at home, they're going to throw about 5 or 6 touchdowns. Cam can't keep up. Distractions this week with calling women stupid and not knowing anything about football. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's lost out there. I like the Lions to take care of the Panthers. 3-1 is a joke for the Panthers. It's not real. Those might be the only 3 wins they get all year. They might lose next 12 straight games. I like the Lions.
I agree.
With everything I said.
I disagree that the Lions will win this matchup because they're at home. If they were playing in Carolina, I would have chosen Carolina. Both are wrong. You're 0-4. 49ers are taking on the 1-3 Colts.
Hey, we got robbed last week.
Here we go.
These dumb overtime rules in the NFL.
False flags. Here we go.
What happened to the good old days? Because I like the good old days, as I've mentioned many times here today on Wynn's World. The overtime rules. What? Everyone gets a ball? All this fairness stuff?
It's a good rule.
Give everyone a chance? No. If your defense can't stop a team, you don't deserve to win.
Oh, God.
The Niners kick a field goal. It should be like the good old days.
That is the hottest take ever.
Do or die. That's how it was when I was growing up watching football.
So it's down to a coin toss with you, essentially. Because the team that gets the ball will drive down the field.
Not always. If your defense is any good, they'll stop them.
No defense is good after 48 minutes of football.
Bummer.
That's absurd.
No.
Poppycock, I say.
Niners should have won this game. They kicked the field goal, but then with like 90 seconds left, the overrated the overrated who has never done anything for his team, Larry Fitzgerald.
Oh, my gosh. Future Hall of Fame receiver.
What's he done?
What are you talking about?
He just puts numbers up. That's all he does.
He's a communication grad at the University of Phoenix. That is enough for me.
All he does is put numbers up, and he's out there in Arizona. No one cares. He scores a touchdown to win the game. They shouldn't even had a chance to have the ball because of these dumb overtime rules. Niners got robbed last week. They had their first one in the bag. But at this point, I want them to lose all the games. We want the number 1 draft pick. Screw it. Go 0-16. It's okay because we have a coaching staff with like 6-year contracts. They're not firing them. We have a good nucleus there in San Francisco. And so I like the Colts to win this game. The Colts are going to beat my Niners. Jacoby Brissett's been kind of impressive so far. And Andrew Luck's not playing this week. At this point, I think they should just sit Andrew Luck. They should also tank this year because if they get a high draft pick, they could then trade that draft pick and get tons of players and make Andrew,
Wow, so you're picking against your team.
Yeah. That's worked for me before.
Not so far this year.
Not this year.
I'm going to take the Niners on the road, baby!
This might be a first in wins world.
There's going to be a gold rush in Indianapolis as the 49ers get their first win on the road. I'm calling it now. I'm feeling it in my bones.
Wow.
So you're taking the Colts at home. I'm taking the Niners on the road.
Have you ever picked the Niners when I didn't? I don't know if that's ever happened.
I don't know. We'll have to go back to the archives of When's World.
Yeah.
I'll have our intern look that up. And by the way, we don't have an intern, so if you're interested, hit me up, whensworldradio@gmail.com.
It pays well, right?
No, there's no pay. No pay at all. Advantage at Radio Griff. Titans at Dolphins. 2-2 taking on 1-2.
The apathetic Jay Cutler-led Dolphins.
It was the trip to London. Can we agree that this whole London thing has got to stop? It's ruining NFL.
Oh, the Dolphins, like at that point, they had traveled like 250,000 miles in the past 2 weeks or something ridiculous. Like,
yeah.
It's insane. The poor Dolphins.
Might as well have gone to space. Not fair.
Right, where it's cold. Titans, Dolphins. I like to think this is the game that Dolphins get back on track because everyone's been saying, oh, they're the most underrated team in the league. Dolphins, watch out for the Dolphins. Meanwhile, they're 1-2. The offense doesn't look very good. And they're supposed to be like, Adam Gase is an offensive guy. That's why he brought in Jay Cutler. And they have a should-be solid running back in Jay Ajayi back there. He's on my fantasy team.
Yeah, he didn't do anything for me last week. Thanks, made me lose to my wife in fantasy football.
Oh, yikes. Yeah, that's not good.
And she had auto picks.
Oh, dude.
How embarrassing. That's like winning the lottery when letting the computer pick your numbers for you. Now birthdays, anniversaries.
You just let everyone know that they're right now listening to a radio show.
And laughing at me.
With a guy.
I'm getting vulnerable here in When's World. I am not afraid to tell people what I think.
A guy who claims he knows what he's talking about when it comes to football.
I went 8-8 last week.
He went 8-8, and he got beat by his wife in fantasy football.
With her auto picks.
On auto pick. My. So you may as well just change it over to another station at this point.
We're going to start talking about badminton.
We
here
don't know what this
World.
guy's talking about. I like the Dolphins. I think the Dolphins are going to beat the Titans this week. I believe in Jay. I kind of like Jay Cutler now. I wasn't a fan of him when he was on the Bears, but I kind of like Jay Cutler's apathetic. I'm going to smoke a cigarette here, man. Whatever. I'm just out here. I'm not going to prepare for anything. I'm just going here to sling the football, hand it to Jay a few times. I'm a Cutler guy now. And I think he's going to lead the Dolphins to victory.
You know, it's really tough to think about last week because you had the Texans destroying the Titans. Deshaun Watson had 5 total touchdowns. Are we going to see something similar happen to the Titans within that Miami offense?
Hey, Mariota out.
Yeah, that's true. With that hammy.
So we got Matt Cassell, and then they signed Matt Castle. Why did I call him Cassell?
Not Sam Cassell. The ugly former Rocket.
and they signed Brandon Weeden.
Over Colin Kaepernick. What is going on?
Things aren't good in Nashville.
Trouble in purgatory. I'm going to take the Titans on the road.
Okay.
I have a feeling they're going to bounce back this week. They were embarrassed last week by a rookie quarterback. Advantage at Radio Griff.
No, I called this from the start. Deshaun is going to be the next great quarterback of this league. And sure enough, here he goes. How many teams passed on him? Like, I think he went, 12th in the draft? Is that right?
Yeah, and Houston mortgaged their future. They got, It was a
smart move. They needed a quarterback, and they got him.
Number 25 overall this year, and then next year's first round.
You're telling me Mitch Trubisky's going to be better than Deshaun Watson? Deshaun Watson, all he does is win.
We're going to find out this week. Hashtag bring in Mitch is working.
Uh-oh.
The folks in Chicago have given up on Mike Glennon because they've heard us. They've heard us talk about this.
World.
Of course they do. I had some pretty high ratings on Saturday.
out of Chicago.
I'm not sure about Sundays, but we'll find out eventually. I'm taking the Titans. This next matchup to me seems like a trap game for the Bills.
Trap game.
Bills taking it on the road. They're 3-1. AFC East leading 3-1 record ahead of the Patriots.
And guess what? They're going to win again this week over the Bengals. They're going to go 4-1.
The Bengals are hot, though. They won last week, which I called also, and you didn't.
They're hot. Come on. They're
hot, baby.
They won one game.
The Red Rifles ready to fire again.
They still can't get the ball to Joe Mixon, efficiently. I like the Bills. Bills 4-1. New culture. It's a new day in Buffalo. Watch out. Sleeper pick to win the East. Maybe the Patriots will be a wild card. The Bills win the division.
And then the Patriots will win 48-3 against the Bills in the first round.
Probably. But hey, at least the Bills won the division, right?
I'm going to take the Bills also. Both are wrong. I was trying to throw you off the scent there, but you stuck with it. The team of 04s, the
oh my goodness,
Odell and 4 Giants.
Odell and 4
hosting the Los Angeles Chargers, which, by the way, seemed like a home game last week for my Philadelphia Eagles. So many more Eagles fans in Los Angeles than Charger fans.
But they had a passionate fan base in San Diego. And just because they couldn't come to some agreement with the local government about building a stadium,
it's always the government ruining things.
Come on, millennials, baby boomers, something like that. But they're playing in this soccer stadium outside of Los Angeles that holds, 27,000 people or something, which should be no problem for an NFL team to fill up. No problem. They have tarps covering the top sections of the stadium because they know they're not even going to sell seats up there.
That's terrible. It's like a wrestling
They're
event.
not even putting 10,000 people in the stadium to watch the Chargers play football. No one wants to watch the Chargers in Los Angeles. I've never seen... This is a boondoggle. This isn't good. I don't know how this is going to end. I assume they move back to San Diego at some point. I don't know. I don't see how they survive in Los Angeles. Maybe they move to St. Louis? They need a football team again. Who knows? This isn't good, though, for the Chargers. I think the Giants finally... They're at home. I think they finally get on track this week and beat the Chargers.
I'm going to go with the Chargers.
Oh.
I really feel like they gave Philly a run for their money, and I was hesitant to pick Philadelphia last week, and rightfully so. They only won by 2 points.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a close game.
Rivers got pretty angry out there, man.
Oh, yeah. He was throwing bows and dropping hammers and slapping children. It was terrible. He wanted to go for it on 4th and 7, and head coach, what's his name? Of the Chargers.
Anthony Lynn?
The African-American fella.
Anthony Lynn?
Decided he wasn't going to go for it, and Phillip Rivers had a cow.
Yeah.
And it was awful. It was fun for me to watch because I always love seeing oppositional players lose their heads. But, yeah, owner Dean Spanos, there is something about his pockets. They seem to be extra lined nowadays with this move to Los Angeles. Because, as you mentioned, they did have a cult following. Look, San Diego, the Fathers have what? They have the Padres, right?
They have the Padres baseball team.
Saint Diego had the Padres.
And the Chargers.
And the Chargers. And that's it. They have no NBA affiliate. They have no hockey team.
They used to have the Clippers, San Diego Clippers.
Wow, that was a long time ago, right?
I think before our time, but that's why they're called the Clippers, because there's the bay there. And
airplanes, right?
Something like that.
Yeah, something like that. I'm very confused.
Boats.
I thought they were talking about like either hedge clippers or like beard clippers, like for when James Harden comes to town. Something along those lines.
Maybe so.
Because that dude needs to shave his beard. For the love of God, dude.
I really like the jazz music in Utah, too.
And the Jazz moved to Utah, where music is illegal. I'm going to look. I'm taking a risk this week because I have everything to lose and nothing to gain.
That's
so
true.
Therefore, I will go with the visiting Chargers because technically they'll probably have more fans in New York than they will in Los Angeles. I'm playing the odds here.
That's a good point.
I'm going to take the Chargers on the road.
All right.
And you're taking the Giants at home, right?
I am.
I just want to mark it down here so there's no argument next week when I win. Advantage the wins. Jacksonville heading into the Steel City to take on the Steelers. 2-2 at 3-1.
Lots of chirping going on in Pittsburgh with the Steelers. Ben Roethlisberger is basically every other week is going on sports radio calling out his teammates. So something's going on where they all can't talk to each other face to face. They have to go. They're talking to each other through the media. I think 3-1 they are. I mean, because Steelers are talent-wise, they're stocked. But I think there's some distractions going on there. And I think, watch out for the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think they're going to go into Pittsburgh. They're going to run the ball down their throat. Bortles is going to throw a touchdown or two to Allen Hurns. And the defense is going to hold up solid. And I think the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to beat the Steelers this week.
Wow.
Stick that in your pipe.
I could not, and smoke it. If it's legal in your state. We don't condone illegal clandestine activities here in Wens World. I understand Antonio Brown. Like, the dude is the best receiver. He's the overall number one pick in every single fantasy football league for wide receivers. And he only had 4 catches for 34 yards last week. 4 catches.
Is that Ben's fault?
That's atrocious. He missed a wide open Antonio Brown down the middle of the field in the second quarter. So Antonio Brown has every right to throw Gatorade on the sideline. He's the best player on the team. And Ben Roethlisberger says, well, I wish he had handled it differently. You're right. There is a lot going on. Mike Tomlin has no control over this team, but I do believe they will overcome all of their communication breakdown, as Led Zeppelin would say, and win against the Jaguars and go 4-1, and they will be a contender at the end of the year. You watch. Mark my words. Steelers at home.
Mark my words. The Steelers will be a contender at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Man, talk about a hot take.
Advantage at Radio Griff. You're talking about disarray. You're talking about how they're collapsing.
I think
how the Jaguars are going to travel to Pittsburgh and win.
This week they will. But the Steelers will still be in the playoff chase at the end. And come on, picking the Steelers to be in...
Well, why would you choose a team that's not going to make it to the playoffs over a team that's inevitably going to make it to the playoffs? You got to
lose some games at some point, right? And there's distractions this week. There's distraction.
Oh, my word. All right, enough said about that game. I'm getting hot here.
Battle of the Birds.
Battle of the Birds as the Cardinals, the St. Louis or Arizona? I'm very confused.
No one knows.
They have the same... This Cardinal looks a little more threatening than the St. Louis Cardinal.
That's true.
But they're going to take it to Philly and take on the Eagles.
St. Louis Cardinal has a bat, though.
Yeah, I would choose a bird with a bat over
a mean-looking bird.
A bird with an evil eye.
Angry bird.
Yeah, angry bird.
I like the Eagles in this game. The Cardinals barely beat my Niners last week. Come on.
I know, but when they get going, man,
they scored one. There was one touchdown scored in that Niners Cardinals game last week, and it was the final one. It was with 90 seconds left in overtime. There's an offensive problem going on in Arizona. Eagles are a premier football team. I'm giving you compliments here. The Eagles are good. They're one of the top teams in the NFC. Did I just jinx them? I hope I did.
You might have.
Eagles win this game over the Cardinals easy.
Oh boy! You know what? I am a diehard Eagles fan. I lose sleep and relationships over this team, and
I'm sorry about that.
I'm sorry about my lack of self-control when it comes to this damn team. They give me cardiac arrest every single Sunday and Monday and Thursday when it applies. I'm going to take the Eagles at home, but again, I'm very tentative about when we play certain teams, we always have trouble. And the Cardinals is one of those, because they're a unit. The Cardinals is one of those teams that give the Philadelphia Eagles drama every time we play. I think it's going to be a close game, and I'm hesitant to pick the Eagles, but because they're my team, I'm going to pick them. But the Cardinals are not a bad team.
They're bad. They're not good. It's over. Blow it up.
They're
done. Carson Palmer's like 53.
I know, but
Larry Fitzgerald's 57.
is so good, man.
He's overrated.
Oh, my God.
He's overrated.
That is not my take here, by the way. Both are correct. All right, let's move it to the NFC West. A battle of the Seahawks and Rams in Los Angeles.
The resurgent Rams. The Rams are incredible.
First place Rams.
This offense is clicking on all cylinders. They got the 25-year-old head coach out there. It's awesome. I like the Rams over the Seahawks are done. It's over. Rams win this game. Go 4-1. Watch out for the Rams, baby.
Wow, you didn't really give me a lot on that other than a lot of heart. Got a lot of heart today.
Heart and grit. Rams.
All right. So is this a blowout in your mind, or?
Yeah, blowout. Yeah. The Seahawks can't keep up with the Rams. Rams are going to... Jared Goff. Connor Kupp. Todd Gurley.
Cooper Kupp.
Connor. I know it's some white name. Connor Cooper.
Kip Smithers. He is going to dominate.
Connor Cooper. Thatcher. I mean, Dansby. Get out of here.
I'm taking the Hawks on the road, baby.
Oh, get out of here. No.
Now is the time, and I know they always have trouble with the Rams, but I believe the Seattle Seahawks...
It's in Los Angeles in front of about 30,000 people.
Are going to take their weed on the road and win in Los Angeles, where weed is legal also. What is it about those western states? They're so progressive.
They are.
Why are we so behind? I don't get it. Not that I encourage that activity, but, I mean, maybe I do. I don't know what I think. Yeah, I'm going to take the Seahawks on the road, for sure. They're going to be 3-2. The Rams are going to be 3-2. And if the Cardinals win, they'll be 3-2. And the 49ers will be 1-4 after their win.
Only 2 games back.
True. How bad is that, by the way? Oh, my gosh. That division is is a freaking cluster F.
Okay.
Advantage the wins. 2-2 battle. Ravens at Raiders.
Dude, this is the game that's on CBS, an AFC matchup that if I click over and it's on my TV, I'm bored. I'm falling asleep on the couch, man.
Is Derek Carr playing?
No, he's out, right?
I'm very confused because there were some issues here. And what is this huge?
No, I think he's out. I think he's out this week. I think the Ravens win by default, I guess. I think Raiders are in trouble.
They are in trouble.
Without Carr,
yes.
They don't seem to really know what to do. After like week 1, they don't know what to do with Lynch now. Like, he looked great for a minute. Now they're not playing him enough, or I don't know what's going on out there. I think the Ravens, they just have more to fall back on. I like the Ravens in this game to take care of the Raiders.
Yeah, I agree, man. Apparently, E.J. Manuel will get the start.
Right, that's not good. That's not good. If E.J. Manuel's your starting quarterback, you're not winning the game. Sorry.
Yeah, and it's a home game, but still
doesn't matter.
For backups, yeah, there is no home. They're the second team. They
wait.
Wait.
Yeah. What if the Raiders are moving to Las Vegas in a couple years?
That's true.
Hashtag play for Las Vegas. Play for Vegas. Because of everything that happened this past week, maybe a little motivation, inspired by the people that have come through and shown heart and stuff out there and love in Las Vegas. Trump visited Vegas.
That's true. For some reason, I haven't seen any of that on CNN. Have you
really?
noticed that there's no?
I don't watch CNN. I don't watch fake news. I only watch Fox News.
You only watch the real. Hey, I respect that about you.
Sean Hannity all day.
Despite Trump's patriotism and the move to Vegas, I will take the Ravens as well on the road.
Yeah, I'm with you.
To move to 3-2. I'm with him. Hashtag I'm with him.
Ravens are anti-American. They're going to beat the Vegas Raiders.
Nevermore will the Raiders win against the Ravens.
Ew.
Both are correct. Sorry, a little Edgar Allan there. Packers at Cowboys. 4:25 kickoff on our local Fox affiliate, I'm sure.
I guarantee it, man. Joe Buck and Troy Aikman on the call.
And I got to give Troy credit last week because he actually wasn't that bad of a homer for the Cowboys.
Troy's pretty solid. But you know who I get to watch? CBS has been doing these Thursday night games now.
Yeah.
And I get to see more Tony Romo. Tony Romo is awesome. He's all
he play action pass coming up here.
Yeah, he has this excitement, and he gets pumped up about it. I love watching games with Romo. I'm a Romo guy. I'm pro Romo.
Did you say pro homo or pro Romo?
Both.
I just want. Okay, hey, that's your right as an American citizen. Millennials
doesn't mean I am one. I'm
very
just
progressive.
Pro.
You just promote homosexuality.
No.
That's basically what you're saying. But that's okay. Let's move on. That's fine.
I project it.
What? Whoa! Hey, save that drop for later. So you like the boys at home? Is this what you're telling me?
I do. I like them boys.
Oh, them boys! America's team. The progressive homosexuals will win it at home.
They're going to get back on track. They're going to win this game. And I think this is a game the Cowboys win. And this is a game so the Packers will fall to 3-2. The Cowboys will go to 3-2. People might consider them two of the top maybe 4 teams, I would say, along with the Eagles and Falcons in the NFC.
I'm so tentative to mention the Eagles as.
But those are your top 4 teams, I would say, right?
Right now,
I would think
it's so early.
I would think so.
Yeah.
So, so this is a game. So it's like we really don't know who's good still because everyone's just kind of even. If the Cowboys beat the Packers, now if the Packers go down to Dallas and win this game, that'll be impressive. So, but I like the Cowboys to win this game.
The Cowboys have 0 defense, and Aaron Rodgers is going to get at least 3 or 4 of those too many players on the field calls because he's an ace at that.
He's awesome at that.
He gets these little 5-yard nuggets every time, and they end up in field goal range, even when they don't have a
and then every once in a while he slings it for 80 yards on one of those plays, and Jordy's there.
He's
catches
just
it,
there.
Touchdown.
Jordy's always there. With a name like Jordy.
50 points on my fantasy team.
I
have
reliable.
them both.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Double whammy there.
I'm a winner.
You are a winner here
Even
in
the
Winsworld.
losers get lucky sometimes, as Tom Petty would say.
Call back there.
The waiting is
God
the hardest
rest
part.
his cold soul. Actually, he's probably in heaven, right? I don't want to judge. Hey, look, and by the way, can I just say, for all you people throwing shade on Hugh Hefner that his soul is in hell, who are you to judge? How do you know what last-minute conversations people have with the Lord? I don't. I wasn't there. Were you? Ask yourself that. Truth bomb. Boom. I'm taking the Packers on the road.
What just happened?
They will be. Sorry, I digress there. But I've heard some people just saying Hugh Hefner's in hell. And how do you know?
I would know? I would say this segment is free falling.
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure. Don't do me like that. But don't do me like that.
I won't
Come
back
on.
down.
You will not back down. Those are the only songs I can remember right now. So, but
American Girl.
Yeah. You deserve something.
Wildflowers.
Yeah, Wildflowers.
To be among the wildflowers.
There you go.
Into the Great Wide Open.
Into the great. God, you know them all.
Straight into darkness.
He's got the greatest hit CD.
All right for now.
All right. I'm all right for now choosing the Packers on the road. They will move to 4-1 and separate from the rest of the crap of the NFC North. Advantage the win. Undefeated. Oh, what else did you have to say?
No, here we go. I'm excited about this Sunday night
this is
game.
worth talking about. This is I'm glad this is the Sunday night game. As the undefeated Chiefs, which I mentioned, shall remain undefeated for the rest of the season. I called it, and they're on track.
So we already know who you're picking in this game.
Maybe I'm going to disagree with myself here. I don't know. They're taking it to hashtags for Houston, taking on the J.J. Watts. 2-2 J.J. Watts.
It's no longer the J.J. Watts. It's the Deshaun Watson.
It's the Deshaun Watts.
Deshaun Watts. Sons. Watson. Texans are going to win this game.
Whoa.
They are going to give the Chiefs their first loss.
Wow.
Deshaun Watson's on fire. They have a quarterback in Houston. It's in Houston. Hashtags for Houston. They're going to be rocking. And I love that we don't get to see these teams like on a national stage too often, I don't feel like. Especially a Sunday night game. This is going to be incredible. Deshaun Watson, this is like his coming out party for real now. Last week was the warm-up. Now he really comes out this week as a top 5 quarterback in the NFL and hands the Chiefs their first loss. I like the Texans over the Chiefs.
I think the Chiefs maintain their undefeated streak all the way to January, and it continues on Sunday night as they will move to 5-0, and the Texans will be 2-3. And a more disappointed Houston town, unfortunately. They've been through so much. By the way, looking at the radar, Texas, man, they just can't catch a break with the rain showers. Them in Florida, both states.
More coming this weekend, right?
Getting whammed. Yeah, there's a new tropical storm, 13 or something? They haven't named it a hurricane yet. Terrible. Anyway, Chiefs continue, and the coming out and all this stuff is getting a little creepy here in Wayne's World. I'm not sure what I think about all that. But hey.
I'm pro Watson.
To each their own. Are you calling Deshaun Watson a
No.
Well,
what?
I don't know.
There's not that there's anything wrong with that.
But not that, there is, according to God's word. But we won't get preachy here in Wayne's World. We'll just quote scripture and let you do the math there. Advantage the wins. Monday night, 8:30, as the Vikings meet Mitchell Trubisky with his first NFL start.
I wasn't excited about this game. Then you mentioned that, and I'm excited now.
1-3 Bears, 2-2 Vikings. Who you got?
I think the Bears are going to ride the Mitchell Trubisky hype.
Oh, yeah.
And they're going to win. It's going to be rocking in Chicago. I like the Bears over the Vikings.
I love the Bears over the Vikings.
Plus, Dalvin Cook out now.
Yeah.
Things a little crazy in Minnesota. Is Case Keenum still the quarterback? Do they have a quarterback? Who knows what's going on? Did they sign Kaepernick? Did they sign Brandon Weeden?
Nobody is going to sign Kaepernick. I think we need to let that go. It's over.
It's over. It's sad.
It's sad. And I will go ahead and predict that Jordan Howard, halfback for the Bears, will have at least 8 receptions off of screen passes because the pass rush by the Vikings is going to be relentless in the face of rookie quarterback Mitchell Trubisky. I believe the Bears win this game by 6 points.
I think they win by 7.
Ooh, hot take there, Griff.
Hot take.
Both are wrong. So follow at Radio Griff on Twitter, find his personal page and troll him there, and of course at Wayne's World Radio.
In copy we trust.
Some of us trust
Millennials.
Millennials and illegal immigrants love John Coppolella. This Phillies fan is indifferent about this.
Well, Philadelphia is the dumbest sports town.
Look, that's for next week. Colin Cowherd, you know what? I'm praying for you.
Let's see if we can get him on the show.
I'm blessing my enemy right now. Okay, yeah, he'd love to be on this show. Tell you what. So as we do every week here, signing off till the next, at Radio Griff has some touching and moving words to pay homage to the late, great Zombie Tom Petty.
Zombie Petty. Here comes my girl.
That's all you got? There's something better, but all right, we'll leave it there.
That was the point. That's the joke.
Thanks for listening. What's going on, KLRN Radio family? This is your friendly host and neighbor, Joey Wensler, a.k.a. The Wens. And you can listen to the show every single Tuesday at 8 o'clock right here on KLRN. Also on demand, 24/7, 365.25, SoundCloud.com. It's also a free app in your phone's app store. And, of course, up in the search bar, WENZ World. It's there that you can catch every single interview and conversation in their entirety, unedited, unclipped, and possibly unsafe for the ears at times. But that's why it's on demand. We can get away with a whole lot more there. You know, in addition to When's World, there's so many fantastic shows right here on KLRN. And one in particular I'd love to highlight right now, and that is Southern Sisters Radio. Now, the name might throw you off, guys, if you're thinking, Southern Sisters, well, I don't live in the South, but it's bigger than that. My friends, we're talking about recipes delicious and easy. So easy that even I can make them. And let me tell you, my usual recipe is toast with butter. But Jenny McCormick Ehrhart makes it so easy that even I can do it. Not to mention, not only food, but also drink recipes. This last week, she featured a mojito. It was so good. Like, literally, I had 3, and I was in the cut, ready to watch some football last Sunday. Again, all of these are available on her website, southernsistershome.com. Check it out. Also, right now on her website, she's got a ton of awesome towels, cookbooks. You name it, she probably has it at a discounted rate, 30% off. 30% off when you type sisters up at checkout into the promo bar. Man, this is the perfect time to get some of that holiday shopping out of the way at a discounted rate. Save $3 out of every 10 that you spend. And this is high quality stuff. I can vouch for that. I bought several things off of her website. So check it out there, southernsistershome.com. Oh, and the coolest part about it, free shipping on all U.S. orders. Yes, free shipping. She doesn't get you coming and going like a lot of these other sites where you have to pay separate processing and handling and you end up spending $15 to $20 more for 1 or 2 items. No, she doesn't do you like that. She's an upstanding lady, and that's why we love her. Straight shooter. Also, you can catch her show in the Atlanta area, AM 920 The Answer, every Saturday at 12 p.m. And again, Sundays on AM 920 The Answer at 10 a.m. So until next week, y'all, I hope you make it a great one and take care.
This is Slickery Trigger for Rebel Road Tactical. With proper care and feeding, your pistol will be ready when you need it. There to save your life. Shouldn't your gear be that good? Whether you need a holster for comfortable everyday carry or a tough-as-nails holster for your next training course, Rebel Road Tactical has what you need. Check us out on the web at rebelroadtactical.com.
Is debt beating you down? You need discipline. You need the Debt Ninja. If you've been caught in a financial trap and need to be set free, then you need the Debt Ninja. Want to stop those harassing collection calls, start saving thousands in interest and fees, and get out of debt fast? Then you need to call the Debt Ninja. The Debt Ninja will find the best companies across the country that will help you consolidate all your bills into one easy payment, reduce your payments by 30 to 50%, and get you out of debt fast. If you have unsecured debt of $10,000 or more, such as credit cards, loans, or medical bills, call the Debt Ninja for a free 15-minute consultation.
Call 800-826-1246. 800-826-1246. That's 800-826-1246. Call today.
The Debt Ninja.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control over your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank account, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problems now by calling the experts at Tax Mediation Services and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. Tax Mediation Services is accredited by the Better Business Bureau. Call now for a free case review and a price protection guaranteed quote.
Call Tax Mediation Services now at 800-610-9050. That's 800-610-9050. 800-610-9050.
Hey, KLRN radio family, this is Ginny Ehrhart. Check out the Southern Sisters radio show every Sunday at 2 p.m. right here on KLRN. Connect with me on Facebook at Southern Sisters Home with Ginny Ehrhart. You can also catch our Facebook Live videos, unedited and uncensored. Connect with me personally. Email me at radio@southernsistershome.com.